And let me tell you, if you attended that event, you could tell that the sound was different.
I break that mentality of you thinking that I'm done with music. No, I want to start now.
This was a beautiful one. Kwa sababu, wanasema wazee hukumbuka.
In a world where news is ever changing, staying informed is more important than ever.
Join us every week on News Check, your go-to show for the latest in current affairs, breaking news and in-depth analysis.
A warm welcome to KBC News Check.
From politics to global events, we bring you content that matter to you.
We're not just speaking about the governance and how we want to see it, but want to actually participate.
Get your facts, hear from the experts, and really understand what is happening around you.
We need to change our system first.
You have to do the impossible to make sure the message is home.
Stay ahead, stay informed, stay engaged.
Will these people, everybody agree?
Just listen to me.
Let's give him a chance to clear the air.
Catch News Check every Tuesday and Wednesday from 10 a.m. to 12 noon. Only on KBC Channel 1.
Are you a talented artist? Or are you passionate about a topic you want to discuss? But money can be very hard to find for an upcoming artist. Don't worry, Studio Mashinani has got your back. Sign up on ajira.co.ke to book a session with our music and video producers across the country. Work on your music, jingles, spoken words, and even podcasts to realize your dream. All for free. Studio Mashinani, Radani Talent.
Want to enjoy free-to-air digital TV with crystal clear quality? Here's how to get started with Signet. Step 1. If you have a smart TV, you're good to go. Next, connect the aerial to your TV. Now, do an auto search on your TV. Just follow the prompts on the screen. And that's it. You're now tuned in to Signet. Sit back and enjoy a wide range of free-to-air digital channels. For technical inquiries, call the Signet hotline on 0770 572 65.
Always a pleasure to have you join us. A warm welcome to the Prime Edition. I'm Yambo, and helping me on the sign language is Lucy Maura. Tonight on the Prime Edition. What killed Cyrus Jirongo? Family enlists the services of private investigators to unravel the death of the former Lugari Member of Parliament. Making workplaces friendly for lactating mothers, the government begins to pile pressure on institutions to provide creche for lactating employees. And the gullies of Maungu see how climate change is making life unbearable for the residents of Taita Taveta County. And And the Prime Edition begins right now, where the family of the late former Lugari Member of Parliament, Cyrus Jirongo, has enlisted the services of private investigators to help establish the circumstances surrounding his death. Speaking during a funeral service for the departed politician, former Vihiga Senator George Khanire has hinted that the investigators will also disclose the identities of two mysterious individuals who were allegedly in Jirongo's car before it was involved in an accident which claimed his life in Naivasha.
So that he can be a source of encouragement to all of us.
A day before his burial, hundreds of friends and family of the late former Lugari MP Cyrus Jirongo congregated in Kitale for a requiem mass for the departed former legislator.
It is very hard for me to imagine that we shall not hold discussions over farming, over politics, over the family. It is very hard. Yet, we must move on.
Cyrus was the cohesive factor in this home. He was the unifying force, and he wanted his family to remain family together.
With lingering questions on his death, former Vihiga Senator George Khanire told mourners that Jirongo's family has turned to private investigators to provide answers. According to Khanire, investigators have already discovered crucial facts, including the presence of two unknown occupants in Jirongo's car before the accident. He further claimed that Jirongo's body had no visible injuries to suggest that he was involved in the fatal crash.
Kuna wachunguzi wa kibinafsi ambao nilikuwa naona ripoti yao jana usiku. Wanasema pia gari hilo lilipoonekana kwenye vyombo vya CCTV kule Naivasha, lilikuwa na watu wawili wameketi mbele. Nyuso hazionekani, lakini linaonyesha kuna watu wawili wameketi. So hakuwa peke yake. So mbona kwa ajali ambayo inasemekana ikaja alikuwa peke yake?
Speaking at the event, Deputy Inspector General Gilbert Masengeli assured the family of thorough investigations.
Sisi kama serikali, we will do the needful to investigate, and the forensic investigation is already on. We will leave no stone unturned till we get the facts. And we should not speculate about anything, because technology will not lie.
Meanwhile, the Tiriki community has expressed readiness to conduct a traditional ritual ahead of the burial ceremony of the late UDP party leader Cyrus Jirongo tomorrow, if they are allowed to do so. However, the ritual will not involve putting out torches as earlier indicated, but will instead follow what they described as a sacred and peaceful cultural process aimed at seeking justice over the death of the former leader. Addressing the media, Tiriki cultural leader Meshak Shitakwa said the community recognized the late Jirongo as a Christian, and therefore any ritual performed will respect Christian values while also allowing elders to symbolically seek justice should there be any wrongdoing linked to his death.
Lakini sisi tuna tabiko moja tu ambalo kama kanisa na wale watu watakuwa hapo wataturuhusu. Tutaomba Mwenyezi Mungu kwamba atupe majibu. Na hakuna jibu ambalo Mungu anashindwa.
Mimi naomba kesho wana Lugari tuwe na heshima, tukaribishe wageni. Mambo ya kupiga makelele kwa matanga ya Jirongo hapana. Tupatie Jirongo heshima ya mwisho. Tukubaliana hapo?
Joseph Hungu for Prime Edition.
The Ministry of Health has declared a nationwide crackdown on all public institutions which have not complied with the law requiring the establishment of creche facilities for their female employees. Public Health Principal Secretary Mary Muthoni said that the lack of child facilities has now become a major concern affecting productivity at work and affecting the well-being of children. She attributed it to the increase in the number of children relying on bottle feeding from 22% to 34%.
Health Principal Secretary Mary Muthoni has raised concerns over the number of public institutions that do not have a nursery where babies and young children are cared for during working hours. The PS says that the lack of creches has affected productivity among mothers and led to a decline in the number of children being breastfed.
The Health Act of 2017 dictates that every institution must have a creche in this country to make sure that this shift of 22 to 34% of children being fed with artificial foods or with bottled milk will reduce. 60% of our infants under 6 months, are exclusively breastfed. So you can see we are still having a 40% somewhere, which is not catered for.
The PS has said that starting January next year, a crackdown targeting non-compliant institutions will be undertaken.
So come January, we will ask all inspectors, public health, and also nutrition experts to ensure that we will go round to ensure that we are coordinating with the county government and ensure that there are creche built in every company, every institution, government agencies, schools.
Non-compliance has been observed mainly in public institutions, including schools, a trend that is affecting teachers and students who are new parents.
I think it is more alarming when there are mothers who are expected to be productive in their workplaces, but they are getting mastitis or any other infection because of not breastfeeding at the right time. And even if the milk is expressed, it is no longer the same, will not be the same as the child who is feeding directly from the mother.
At the same time, the minister sounded an alarm over increased infiltration of drugs and substance abuse in learning institutions, calling for enhanced vigilance.
And the initiation to drugs is actually being done by older people, either employees of the schools or people who hang around the corridors of those institutions. So we are not taking this lying down because we will employ a whole of government approach to ensure that all agencies are joining hands. We will go to those schools and ensure that we unearth any drugs.
Nancy Okware, Prime Edition.
To matters politics now, where the Orange Democratic Movement is preparing to initiate formal coalition negotiations with the Kenya Kwanza government ahead of the 2027 general elections. Deputy Party Leader Abdul Somad Sharif Nasser says plans are underway to convene the ODM Central Committee to secure a formal mandate to engage in coalition talks with the government.
In a move that could significantly reshape Kenya's political landscape ahead of the 2027 general elections, the Orange Democratic Movement now intends to pursue structured, party-sanctioned negotiations with the ruling United Democratic Alliance Party.
We will not allow iwe ni mambo ya dakika za mwisho kwa sababu kuna watu lugha yao ya kwanza ya pili one term sijui hivi ili tusianze mazungumzo. Mazungumzo yanaanza Januari.
Speaking during the annual Wachangamwe cultural event in Mombasa, meant to celebrate the area's cultural heritage, unity and identity, a section of ODM leaders led by the party deputy leader Abdul Samad Nasir said the push is aimed at ensuring the party is fully integrated into government structures where critical national decisions are made.
Hatutaki kuambiwa ile mambo ya Kamu State juu tutapatiwa waziri mmoja, waziri wawili, ama huyu tupatiwe hiki. We need to sit at the negotiation table from now.
Sisi viongozi wenu kupitia broad-based government hatuna tofauti yoyote nyingine ya kisiasa. Zamani tulikuwa tukisimama tunaweka hotuba kali, lakini hivi sasa mimi na Joho tunakaa kwa meza ya maamuzi.
They expressed confidence that President William Ruto would secure strong support from the region, even as they accused the united opposition of promoting divisive and tribal-based politics.
Sisi tulio wengi, kura zetu hazikutupatia chochote. Kama si broad-based government, hata waziri tungekuwa hatuna mpaka leo. So kwa ufupi, kwa mtazamo wa mtu wote mwenye akili, kura za 2027 zitashindwa na William Samoei Ruto.
The Orange Democratic Movement has in recent weeks found itself entangled in a row over the party's political direction. A section of the party's senior members is accusing each other of selling the political outfit. Tilio Marco for Prime Edition.
And the ongoing push to amend the Constitution has ignited a fresh national debate, with leaders divided on whether the move to amend is necessary or is a threat to the spirit of the 2010 Constitution. The latest push by Prime Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi has received support from a section of the political class, while others have termed the move illegal.
The proposal by the Prime Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi to hold a referendum alongside the 2027 general elections has received support and criticism in equal measure. Speaking during a press briefing in Navaholo constituency, area member of Parliament Emmanuel Wangwe, flanked by county politicians, expressed support for the constitutional reforms, calling them timely.
We are staring at a massive legal crisis where the 2027 election could be nullified before it even begins.
Ni kweli tusipoandaa mambo ya referendum, huenda uchaguzi wa 2027 ukawa unconstitutional. Kumaanisha kwamba tutakuwa tunafanya kazi bure.
The leader said the proposed amendments would help eliminate loopholes that often lead to the election disputes being challenged in courts after the general election.
Yale ambayo yalikuwa katika BBI na yale ambayo yako katika NADCO report, na mimi nasema tuunge mkono hiyo discussion. Na nichukue nafasi hii kuwakaribisha wanasheria, Law Society of Kenya, waje watusaidie kuchambua kisheria kiundani yale ambayo tunafikiria, Musalia nafikiria, mimi nikiyaunga mkono ni yako kivipi katika mambo ya kisheria.
However, a section of politicians and political pundits have opposed the move, terming it illegal and one that risks eroding the spirit of the 2010 constitution.
Ni njama za kisiasa na sivyo vitu ambavyo vinalenga maisha ya wananchi, raia wa kawaida, Mkenya wa kawaida, na ambavyo vinaweza kunufaisha taifa la Kenya kwa njia yoyote.
Ikisha kuja tusome, kwa sababu hivi mama Juice mmesikia Senator Chergai akiongea mambo ya term isongeshwe from 5 years 7 years. Sasa ikiingia kitu kama hiyo, sisi wananchi, sisi tutasema hapana, tutapinga hiyo. Haitaenda bahali because ni kama hawa sasa ni kujitafutia namna ya kuendelea kwa uongo. Hiyo tu peke yake.
They further accused those spearheading referendum calls, saying it's a strategy to extend election timelines and remain in office longer. They warned that such a move would place an additional financial burden on the taxpayers.
To matters conservation, where deep gullies are cutting through farmland and threatening homes in Maungu, Taita Taveta County, leaving residents living in fear. The erosion worsened by climate change has already claimed a child, and families struggling daily to protect the land. Despite government tree planting initiatives and community conservation projects, experts warn that the destruction will continue unless urgent action is taken. Ben Chumba reports.
Deep gullies are tearing through Maungu in Taita Taveta County, leaving homes on the edge of collapse and farmers struggling to save their land. For residents here, the impact of climate change is happening now. Fidelia Mkamburi knows this all too well. She lost her child after a gully claimed part of her land, and today her home stands perilously close to the same erosion.
Hapo kwangu kuna korongo kubwa na niko na watoto na wajukuu, na hiyo naona inani affect kwa sababu kuna wakati mtoto wangu alienda na maji. Sasa nikiona hivyo inanikumbusha.
The largest gully in the area is nearly a kilometer long, 9 meters wide and 2 meters deep.
It is a sad story that most people cannot comprehend, but this is the ultimate. This is the very advanced stage of soil erosion.
Soil is disappearing at an alarming rate, and with it, the livelihoods of the farmers who depend on the land.
So you can imagine the volume and the speed of water, the force that that water comes with. It takes away the topsoil. We have been training farmers. We have about 120,000 people in what Wildlife Works Kasigao Corridor Red Plus project refers to as the community. There are about 120,000. And our estimate is that we have about 30 to 35,000 adults.
We have a program that is helping farmers access high-yielding livestock like Frisians, improved breeds from Calro that are able to produce more milk, and they are kept at home with the intention of increasing milk production and at the same time reducing the pressure on the forest by ensuring that you have less cows at home and selling whatever as less production that always go to the forest.
Even with these efforts, residents like Fidelia face a daily struggle against land that seems to be disappearing before their eyes.
Mali mimi niko karibu na maji na korongo sana. Kama anaweza nipatia msaada wote, hata kama niyo nyumba kuyahamisha ama kutoa misaada mingine zaidi kwa kutusaidia kutoa hiyo makorongo, kwa sababu imekuwa ni tishio, hata watoto kutoka shuleni tuna wasiwasi.
Ben Chumba, Prime Edition.
Well, and that story by Ben Chumba brings us to a first break of the bulletin. We'll be back with more stories. Stay with us if you can.
Give me what I want. A big argument with Amador Zúñiga, and I decided to end our partnership.
Maybe in time you will realize that I still love you.
No. You're probably looking at me like a paternal figure that you lacked.
Lea Premium Flour, nurturing the world. Available in a store near you.
Welcome back. A 50-year-old man has been arraigned before a Kakamega court charged with the murder of his wife following an alleged domestic dispute. The suspect, identified as Isaac Mwaura, is accused of killing his 31-year-old wife, Dina Ngala, at Ikonyero Estate on the outskirts of Kakamega town on the 24th of December.
The suspect, Isaac Mwaura, was arraigned in a Kakamega court over the death of his 31-year-old wife, Dina Ngala, who was allegedly attacked with a hammer on December 24th at their home in Ikonyero Estate on the outskirts of Kakamega town after an argument over delayed Christmas meal preparations. The deceased father, Bernard Ngala, revealed he had previously warned his daughter about persistent marital conflicts, while a relative said she was last seen being escorted home after a family function before news of her death emerged.
They have been together for close to 3 years. They have one child, a son. This was not a relationship as a father I recognized totally. It was not a relationship I recognized. I have ever sat them about 3 times talking to them that I don't recognize this relationship because my daughter was married legally, and that marriage did not work for one reason or the other. So she had come back into my custody, and she was doing some business here in Kakamega.
Directorate of Criminal Investigations Officer Hilary Rono requested the court to detain the suspect for 14 days to allow further investigations, including DNA analysis and a mental assessment, a request granted by Senior Principal Magistrate James Masiga.
Since the respondent is not opposed to the application is allowed. He'll be remanded at Kakamega Police Station for a period of 14 days. Mention when? 13th January 2026.
The DCI, the police, have requested for the suspect to be held for 14 days as they engage in further investigations. We will be coming back to court on 13th for mention to confirm whether DNA has been conducted and whether a mental assessment has been done on the suspects. Then thereafter, plea will be taken. Then the court will decide whether to issue bond or bail or not.
The suspect will be detained at Kakamega Police Station for 14 days pending further investigations. Noel Longeso for Prime Edition.
Homa Bay Town Member of Parliament Peter Kaluma now claims that there exists a scheme by some rogue national government constituency development fund committees to siphon public funds through inflated procurement of school buses. Speaking after handing over 2 school buses to Ogande Mixed Senior School, the legislator alleges that a section of NG-CDF board members prioritize the purchase of buses for schools despite many learners studying in dilapidated classrooms and poorly equipped laboratories. According to the MP, the absence of a fixed price for vehicles combined with government rating systems has been exploited to inflate costs. He explains that a school bus can be rated at about 12 million shillings under government pricing, yet the same vehicle can cost less than 10 million shillings when purchased directly from the manufacturer. The lawmakers revealed that a section of NG-CDF committees collude with suppliers to hike prices, allowing them to pocket excess funds, especially when several buses are bought at once.
Buses like this one has been bought at how much? 9.3 million. If you look at the national government rating, they should be bought at around 12 million. And you may not know it, but most CDF committees collude with suppliers and put them at 12 or even 13 million. And that is something so many of them do. In Homa Bay Town constituency, they take money to Isuzu direct. And so, against spending an additional 3 to 4 million, which would have been spent, it is at 9 million. If they did not do that, some 3 to 4 million would be in the pockets of somebody somewhere. And so I want to congratulate you in a very special way. And if you think about 3 to 4, and we have 2, that would be around 7 to 8.
Now, the Nubian giraffe, one of the rarest giraffe species in the world, remains critically endangered despite ongoing conservation efforts. In Nakuru County, environmentalists are raising an alarm over habitat loss, poaching, and climate-related challenges threatening the survival of the iconic animal. Our reporter, Aaron Marie, has the details.
Tall, graceful, and instantly recognizable, the Nubian giraffe is one of Africa's most iconic animals, but behind its elegance lies a silent struggle for survival. There are 4 recognized giraffe species in the world: the Maasai, reticulated, southern, and northern giraffes. Globally, its population is estimated at just 3,000 individuals. Kenya is home to more than 1,000 of them, making the country a crucial stronghold for the species' survival.
The population of these schools becomes very critical in terms of disseminating information or spreading their awareness about the challenges facing this particular population of the giraffe, of the subspecies of the northern giraffe, that is the Nubian giraffe.
In Kenya, the Nubian giraffe is found in only a handful of protected areas, including Giraffe Mana in Nairobi, Lake Nakuru National Park, Ruma National Park, and Lake Baringo National Park. The Nubian giraffe is admired for its striking skin patterns and distinctive white stockings on its legs. But these same features have also made it a target for poachers, hunted for meat, skin, and body parts. Economic hardship, demand for traditional items, and limited awareness continue to fuel illegal poaching, pushing the species closer to extinction. In Nakuru and its surrounding communities, conservation efforts are intensifying. The Wildlife Clubs of Kenya, the Kenya Wildlife Service, and partner organizations are working closely with local communities to protect the endangered giraffe.
Because of the pressure and the competition, we may find in future a number of animals or a number of wildlife crisscrossing and interacting with the community or getting outside the park. And it becomes very important that the response from the community is from the point of knowledge.
More than 20 schools around Lake Nakuru National Park have been sensitized on wildlife conservation.
We saw many challenges facing the giraffe. The drying of acacia tree, and the acacia tree is the source of the giraffe, is the source of food of the giraffe.
Through this project, we have had a number of learners being interested about conservation. For example, we have been having learners planting trees around the school. We have also have other activities like the garden behind me, the nursery, where we are going to have more trees which we are going to plant around the school.
Through arts, drama, and performances, students are passing conservation messages to their families and communities.
The kids were so excited when we told them about the NG-CDF and the impact on the project of creating a giraffe without even knowing they would be given a chance to visit the park.
But conservationists warn that poaching is not only the threat. Rising water levels in Lake Nakuru have expanded the shoreline, flooding habitats and complicating fencing around the park. This has squeezed wildlife spaces, forcing some animals out of the park and into nearby human settlements. The situation is further worsened by the loss of acacia trees, the giraffe's main food source. Flooding has caused many trees to collapse or dry up, raising concern over the long-term food security of giraffes in the park.
Acacia ambaye imesurround the lake imekauka kwa kiwango kikubwa sana. Hiyo ilikuwa ni manyumba ya baboons. Sasa inawaforce kuenda kukana na community. Hence sasa ina make hiyo mambo ya human and wildlife conflict inakuwa mingi.
The response should be reporting, taking quicker action in alerting the KWS, alerting the rangers nearby, alerting, disseminating that information to local authorities such that the actions can be acted upon in good time.
Even as their number slowly grow, conservationists caution that without urgent action to protect habitats, curb poaching, and strengthen community involvement, the Nubian giraffe could once again face extinction.
What do you see from where we are?
They are now calling for sustained conservation education and ecosystem protection to secure the future of one of Kenya's most endangered wildlife species.
We carry out conservation education programs. These programs are aimed at inculcating environmental awareness, social responsibility, and action.
Reporting for KBC Channel 1, I'm Aaron Marie.
Thank you, Aaron Marie, for that report. We head to the counties now, where dialysis patients in Migori County are increasingly benefiting from the government's Social Health Authority scheme, which now covers a significant portion of treatment costs in public and faith-based hospitals. The move has eased the financial burden on patients who previously depended on costly private facilities, improving access to regular dialysis services and continuity of care. Details of these and other stories with Ian Zive.
Health facilities such as St. Joseph's Hospital in Ombo report fewer missed dialysis sessions and better continuity of care. The affordability has also attracted patients from other regions and neighboring countries.
Mambo ya dialysis ikaendelea nayo. Hapa tunafikaka saa 12, madaktari wetu wako ready na tunaanza mambo ya dialysis saa hizo.
Actually, we receive referrals as far as from Omar Bay to this point. And sometimes we receive even from the nearest hospitals to these points.
Also in Busia County, The public has been urged to register with the Social Health Authority and embrace regular checkups to stay healthy. At a medical camp in Marachi Estate, Busia, health practitioner Emmanuel Baraza emphasized that checkups help detect and treat diseases early.
Waweze kuwa na frequency ya kukuja hapa hospitali ili wajue hali yao. Ni better ujue ukinge kuliko ukikaa tu nyumbani. Kuna wale ambao wanasema kwamba better nikae nisijue ili stress isinipate, lakini ni vyema ujue hali yako ya kiafya.
Meanwhile, in Kiambu County, police in Ruiru are pursuing 5 suspects who fled after a failed shop break-in. Confirming the incident, Ruiru Sub-County Police Commander Charles Kibathi said suspects were targeting a shop in the Destiny area of Gatongora Ward when members of the public raised the alarm, prompting officers on patrol to respond swiftly and intercept the suspect's vehicle.
Ukiangalia zile bidhaa ambayo tumepata hapa ambayo inatumika kwa hii wizi, hizi nia ya hii watu ni nia ambaye ni mbaya, kwa sababu naangalia wako na vifunguo 148 ambaye inatumika kwa kufungua manyumba na kufanya maovu zingine zote ambaye hii funguo zinaweza fanya.
And in Kitui County, the county government has introduced measures to protect mango farmers from heavy post-harvest losses. Agriculture CCM Dr. Stephen Mbaya said farmers lose up to 90% due to a lack of markets.
Tumeendelea kuna farmer producer organization for them kufanya aggregation, kufanya collective marketing na kufanya value addition. Kingine kama ukiangalia mwingi, tumecluster account yetu mzima. Kuna zile sehemu ambazo kuna membe mingi. So we have clustered our areas where there are many mangoes and we have formed farmer producer organizations.
Finally, in Kisii County, youth have been urged to respect the elderly and shun harmful beliefs that fuel violence, including witchcraft-related lynching. The call came during the 105th birthday of Mama Agnes Mora Ombaki, where leaders emphasized protecting senior citizens and boosting social protection programs.
And ningependa actually kusisitiza au to encourage the youth, the people out there, the Gen Z, kwa sababu kwa hii jamii yetu nimeona vijana wanakuja wanaenda sijui wanachoma hawa kina mama wazee ambao wanasema hizi ambao sijui wamefanya sijui ni warogi sijui ni wanini. Tunataka kuambia kwamba ukiwa na mama ama ukiwa na your grandmother, your grandparent, kama my grandparent hapa Agnes, yeye ni nguzo. Let me tell you what she does in this family, amwezi jua kwa sababu yeye ndio msingi.
Ian Zeve for Prime Edition.
Are you a talented artist, or are you passionate about a topic you want to discuss? But money can be very hard to find for an upcoming artist. Don't worry, Studio Mashinani has got your back. Sign up on ajira.co.ke to book a session with your music and video producers across the country. Work on your music, jingles, spoken words, and even podcasts to realize your dream. All for free. Studio Mashinani, Radani Talent.
The young generation awakens on Y254, the leading youth TV station in Kenya. We treat you to current affairs, entrepreneurship, health, and human interest conversations.
It's art, it's culture.
Movies, gossip and trends, sports, drama.
We bring you a vibe like no other, straight to your living room.
To keep you informed, inspired, entertained, and most of all, refreshed.
We are such a vibe.
Y254. Imagine.
And look at business news now, where smallholder farmers in Ruai area will soon reap big from consolidated smallholder acreage adopting nature-positive farming techniques, and that is in rural areas, really not from Rai. Now, the initiative will see farmers transform degraded and fragmented communal land into large tracts of viable, fertile, and arable land suitable for commercial agriculture under the nature-positive farms system.
This is Nyakach East. Farmers in this area have adopted smart agricultural techniques after decades of recording poor harvests in successive seasons. They can now enjoy better yields and food security despite the challenges posed by vagaries of climate, thanks to the Alliance for Diversity CIAT initiative.
Population is growing, land gets fragmented, climate change is making the life of farmers increasingly difficult. The livelihood is not secure under this climate change, so the community could not thrive.
The initiatives have seen farmers transform their degraded and fragmented communal land into large tracts of viable, fertile and arable land suitable for commercial agriculture under the nature-positive farm system.
Because land is a very critical issue in Kenya, and so to convince farmers to give up the decision-making on their land, to have a collective decision-making, to take a collective action for this farm to be managed jointly was a big task. A lot of workshop, a lot of conversation.
Through the CGIAR initiative on nature-positive solutions, the smallholder farmers pool land or aggregate for sustainable larger scale by diversifying food production to enhance their livelihoods from subsistence to commercial farming ventures. The concept focuses on palm culture, value addition and food security to overcome land fragmentation, reduce costs and improve market access through collective action.
Especially in improving livelihood of the community, especially the women groups, whom are empowered in terms of on-farm production of their crops, because we know the women has to be very resilient.
Beatrice Okello, a senior climate change officer at the Kisumu County Department of Water, Environment, Climate Change and Natural Resources, says the directorate was mainstreaming changes in all the sectors, including health, energy, agriculture and also lands.
As we look around Kisumu right now, we feel the extreme heat. The weather conditions have changed and the farmers cannot predict when to do the long range season or when to plant their crops for the short range.
Carlo Fada, a lead researcher who works for the Alliance of Biodiversity International and CIAT, said the project was developing nature-positive solutions for sustainable agriculture to cope with emerging challenges in the wake of climate change and population explosion. He says the consolidation of small farms into large commercial holdings offers farmers an advantage through the creation of economies of scale and gives them an edge to start building some facilities to improve the diversification of the value chain to boost their livelihood from different streams.
The farmers embrace this at some point enthusiastically. We start building some facilities to improve the diversification of value chains, so income for livelihood from different streams. We have the black soldier fly, we have the poultry, we have irrigated for vegetables, we have fish ponds.
FADA, however, challenged other stakeholders, especially development partners, to chip in with subsidies to help promote the bulk of investment in the initiative for replication in all parts of the country. Alan Auko, Prime Edition.
A look at business across Africa, where the rising popularity of online shopping in South Africa may bring risk to a new wave of consumer scams as fraudsters produce cloned retail websites and engage in phishing scams to cheat shoppers out of their holiday spending budgets. Increased variety, discounts and quick deliveries have boosted the appeal of e-commerce. Details of this and other stories in today's Business Wrap.
Cybersecurity specialists say the festive period could create ideal conditions for online crime with high transaction volumes, emotional spending and time pressure. They say it's a perfect storm in the fact that Africa's vulnerability is the result of three factors. They include rapid digital adoption, high-value targets and a human vulnerability gap. Experts also warn that Africa's booming digital economy is a growing target because cyber awareness among residents is failing to keep up with the speed of adoption. Meanwhile, the Central Bank of Egypt lowered its key interest rates by 100 basis points, or 1%, the CBA reported. The CBE said in a statement that its Monetary Policy Committee decided to cut the deposit rate to 20%, the lending rate to 21%, and the rate of the main operation to 20.5%, while also reducing the discount rate to 20.5%. This marks the fifth interest rate cut by Egypt's central bank so far this year. Finally, Nigeria's state oil company is betting on a long-delayed gas pipeline to ignite an industrial revolution in the country's north. Its chief executive said after briefing President Bola Tinubu on Sunday. NNPC Limited told reporters that the company has completed welding the main line of the $2.8 billion Ajaokuta-Kaduna-Kano pipeline, including the critical River Niger crossing, a feat that has seen a stalled progress for years. The milestone clears the way for connecting the pipeline early next year. The AKK pipeline, first conceived in 2008, is essential to Nigeria's ambition to leverage its vast gas reserves for economic growth. Its completion could transform the north, where chronic power shortages and a lack of energy infrastructure have stifled manufacturing for decades.
Na kwani mami yuko?
Tunaweza ingia tuzungumze kidogo.
Sasa sina time.
Umemaliza? Auntie. Aya, chukua fagio. Auntie, basi nipe violin. Alafu there is no food for you and there's no school for you.
Makadamia akijaribu kukuongelesha mama kukuzushia, usimjibu.
Mama anakuanga na kichwa ngumu, usiachibu.
Mbola, ndigi kiritui.
Ule upendo wa kwanza utarudi. Wewe. Nasema toka hapa.
Kuja untoe. Thank you. Karibu. You're such an angel.
Got the fear of missing out? Want to keep up with all the latest entertainment news and latest celebrity gossip? From the latest rumors to popping events to the newest fashion trends, here is where you get all the tea or juice when it comes to entertainment, and you get it served on time. All that and so much more on Grapevine every single Monday only on KBC Channel 1. Remember, if you did not see it on Grapevine, then it most probably never happened.
It's time for sports, where the ITF Under-16 Eastern African Union champion Nancy Kawira lost by 2-1 to her fellow Kenyan Faith Urasa as the girls' tennis W35 tour started on Monday morning at Parkland Sports Club. The championship, which is part of the ITF World Tennis Tour, is geared towards providing opportunities for players to earn crucial ranking points and prize money.
The ITF Women's World Tennis Tour W35 hosted at the Parkland Sports Club entered its first day on Monday morning. The ITF Under-16 Eastern African Junior champion Nancy Kawira started the campaign with a 2-1 loss against her fellow counterpart Faith Urasa. Kawira made a confident start to the match, taking the opening set 6-4 and putting early pressure on her opponent. However, Urasa responded with renewed energy and composure in the second set, turning the momentum in her favor to claim it 6-2. The decisive third set proved to be a tightly contested affair, with both players battling through long rallies and service games. Urasa ultimately edged out Kawira in a tense tiebreak, winning the set 13-11 to seal the match.
And it's been a journey, and I'm glad that I finally got to play a W35, and today at least I won a match.
I played well, but I lost. But I tried my best, and my plans for next year. Now I'm going to train for zonals. It's next year.
Meanwhile, the first Kenyan Grand Slam winner, Angela Okutoi, will be in action tomorrow in a bid to bring her ranking points down on the road to the 2028 Los Angeles Olympic Games. Frederick Mwoki for Prime Edition.
Black Mamba men's handball team is yet to register a win in the East and Central Africa Handball Club Championship after sharing the spoils with Brothers of Burundi at Old Kampala Sports Arena in Uganda. Black Mamba drew 25-25 with Brothers, their second Pool B match in the ongoing regional championship. In today's matches, they were beaten 30-26 by Uganda's UPDF in their opening match yesterday, as NCPB Cereals of Kenya beat Uganda Police 40-23 yesterday. Today's women's matches saw NCPB Cereals complete a double against Uganda Police, whom they narrowly overcame 29-28, as Prisons of Uganda hammered Muzinga of Burundi 63-21. The other Kenyan representative, Nairobi Water, was off to a winning start yesterday against Uganda Prisons, whom they beat 41-27. They face Muzinga of Burundi tomorrow.
A costly mistake from Black Mamba.
Green Commandos and Young Ladies were crowned champions of the 15th Chris Oguso football tournament after winning their respective finals played at the Mahanga grounds, Vihiga County. The two champions shared 700,000 shillings prize money.
Green Commandos defeated Madioli Football Club 1-0 to win the 2025 Chris Oguso men's football title in a thrilling final played at the Mahanga grounds in Vihiga County. Alvin Inyangu scored the lone goal in the 16th minute of the final to hand the Commandos the title and a cash reward of 400,000 shillings.
Ukiangalia result ambayo nimekuwa nayo tangu mwanzo, ni game moja tu ambayo nilishinda bao mbili. Hizi zingine zote nimeshinda tu bao moja kuanzia mwanzo mpaka leo. Alafu tangu tournament ianze nimefunga tu bao moja. Kwa hivyo vijana walikuwa wanajua kushat, na wakati walikuwa wanapata chance pale mbele walikuwa wanakuwa clinical.
Young ladies were also at their very best in the final as they defeated their rivals Nice 2-1 in the women's final played at the same venue. Willie Gloria opened the scoring in the 31st minute before Mary Mumbua made it 2-0 in the 70th minute.
Imekuwa ni safari ndefu tangu hii mchezo ilipoanza, na itakuwa kwa urahisi kwa sababu kila timu ilijipanga, lakini kulingana na vile tumekuwa tukicheza, tukiona vile tukicheza game moja, tunaenda tunabadilisha mtindo kulingana na vile opponents pia wanajipanga.
Yvonne Atieno scored a consolation for Nice in the 89th minute, but it was too late for a comeback as Young Ladies pocketed the 300,000 shillings cash reward for winning the women's title.
Nilitoa kauli kwamba mimi si mwanasiasa. Mimi naweka amani kwa serikali na kwa wananchi. Na mimi niko dhabiti kwa nchi yetu ya Kenya na kikosi cha polisi. Sasa mimi nimerudi mashinani kuweza kuinua hiyo talanta ya mashinani. Na mimi siwezi kubali mwanasiasa kuingia hapa.
Kiwango hakika kimekuja juu zaidi. Kilinganisha na mwaka jana ndivyoona, saizi there's a lot of talent. Na kwa hakika tumekuwa hapa na ma-CEO ya Premier League teams, tumekuwa na kina chairman ya Kakamega Homeboys, Gor Mahia, wote wamekuwa hapa kutaka tap those talents.
Barclay Feather, Prime Edition Sports.
And Mali ladies aged out defending champions Kimangeti Queens 1-0 in a closely fought encounter to be crowned the women's champions of the 7th edition of the Karamoja Super Cup. Marion Chambesa scored the only goal in the game midway through the second half, rounding off the goalkeeper perfectly to pass the ball into an empty net to secure the win for Mali Mali, who had won the crown again in 2023. Following their triumph, Mali Mali ladies took home 300,000 Kenya shillings, while Kimangeti Queens received 150,000 Kenya shillings.
Apart from the business community, kumekuwa na a number of players wale wamekuwa scouted, talented players wale ambao wame manage kuingia kwa Kenyan Premier League teams, NSL teams, the national team. So every year the edition becomes bigger and better.
Kusema ukweli, game ya leo first half imekuwa ngumu. Vile tulienda half time, coach ametupea tactics hapo, akatuambia vile tutajipanga hapo ndani na tukuje kupata win.
And now to the African showpiece AFCON, where Morocco and Mali could secure their places in the last 16 of the 2025 Africa Cup of Nations if they register wins in their respective final Group A matches tonight. Morocco will play Zambia, while Mali will face Comoros. Ivory Coast and Cameroon remain the favorites to progress to the last 16 from Group F after playing to a 1-0 draw in Marrakesh last night.
Number of goals scored, same number of goals conceded, which is 0. It's a dangerous looking ball to the back post. And Talen Yongwa should have done better. Nice ball, nice weighted ball. Oh! Massive deflection from the shot of Namaso. Takes it onto the crossbar. That's a great ball to find Ahmad. He's got Bayo with him. Ahmad! What a goal! 2-2 for Ahmad Diallo. Have cleared, falls from the ball. 1-2. The shot!
The goalkeeper was a bit out of his line. He tried to get the ball, but unfortunately he couldn't.
Well, let's see what they've worked on the training ground. It's in Brumo! Try to tip it, but it is too close to go.
Let's head to Nigeria. Former world heavyweight champion Anthony Joshua was involved in a road accident today that left 2 people dead in Nigeria. The 36-year-old Briton escaped with minor injuries when his car collided with a stationary truck in Makun, which is 30 miles from Lagos, according to the Ogun State Police Command. Joshua was taken to a hospital after being helped out of the wreckage by 2 other passengers, but the 2 other passengers were not so lucky. They were pronounced dead at the scene. The cause of the accident is under investigation. And to the Sports Review 2025. It was a historic and memorable year for Kenya as they co-hosted a successful 2024 African Nations Championships with Tanzania and Uganda, and to also advance to the knockout stages for the first time. The ultimate trophy was won by Atlas Lions of Morocco, who beat Madagascar 3-2 in the final to lift the 3rd trophy at Kasarani.
The 2024 African Nations Championship, which was known as Chan Pamoja 2024, was a memorable one which brought the nation to a standstill, led by President William Ruto.
Just come to tell you, keep it up, right? This is just a good beginning.
It showcased not just local talent, but Kenya's passion for football as they packed the revamped or modernized stadia to Confederation of African Football amazement. And the home team rose to the occasion too, to the joy of the nation, as they upset the Giants and topped a tough group with 3 wins against Morocco.
Stanley Omondi with a
a chance to shoot, takes the deflection, it's come the way of Orgam. Orgam turns left, fires home. Kenya lead, building up to half-time, and Ryan Orgam lives up to his billing as he fires Kenya in front in Kasarani.
Democratic Republic of Congo and Zambia, whom they beat by solitary goals, while drawing 1-1 with Angola to advance to the quarterfinals. In their debut, where they unfortunately lost to Madagascar via penalties, as the co-hosts Tanzania and Uganda also bade farewell to the tournament at the same stage after mesmerizing the crowds with spirited performances.
Half-time, puts it wide and Madagascar advance. They eliminate Kenya at the quarter-final stage. It's all over for the co-hosts. Once again for Madagascar. Debutants 2 years ago finished third.
And when it all came to an end, it was the Atlas Lions of Morocco who lifted their third trophy after overcoming Madagascar 3-2 in the finals at Kasarani, as Senegal took the bronze. Beldine Odemba coached Harambee Starlets also followed suit with an outstanding performance in their Africa Women Cup of Nations qualifiers to book their ticket to the 2026 edition in Morocco after they beat Gambia 1-0 in the final qualification round to seal a 4-1 aggregate win, and will be making their maiden appearance in the continental event. Locally, Nairobi United made history in their continental debut in the CAF Confederations Cup, where they shocked Etoile du Sahel of Tunisia 7-6 on penalties after a 2-2 draw to reach the group stage for the first time after Police FC had been eliminated in the CAF Champions League in the second round preliminary round. Internationally, Paris Saint-Germain won the UEFA Champions League after they hammered Inter Milan 5-0 at the Allianz Arena, and also went ahead to lift their first UEFA Super Cup after defeating Tottenham Hotspur, who won the Europa League. Of PSG was also the Club of the Year in the 2025 Ballon d'Or, as marksman Ousmane Dembele won the men's Ballon d'Or, as Barcelona Aitana Bonmatí lifted the women's trophy for the third title. Portugal beat Spain 5-3 on penalties after a 2-2 draw to win the UEFA Nations League, as France took bronze. Nigeria won the Women's Africa Cup of Nations after they upset hosts Morocco 3-2 during the finals in Rabat, as North Korea won their fourth FIFA Under-17 Women's World Cup after a 3-0 defeat of the Netherlands in the final.
Shirts. Korea DPR successfully defend their title.
Frederick Muki for Channel 1 Sports.
Defeated and well defeated.
And that's how we put a cap on the Prime Edition tonight. As always, thank you for your time and your company. My name is Marie Yambo. Lucy Maura was our sign language interpreter tonight. Have a good night.
Greetings in the name of the Most High, Jah Rastafari. My good name is Marley Moses, the positive warrior, alongside...
Yes, sir, DJ D-Rage, the baddest. Each and every Wednesday from 10 p.m. on KBC Channel 1 TV.
Tunakuletea the biggest reggae party in 254 in a yard extra. Extra niceness of reggae music.
Extra dose of entertainment.
When the thing is nice,
we have to do it twice.
It is finally that time of the year. We get to do the final show of the year 2025. How are you?
Woo! That's what's up, man. Welcome to the biggest, the baddest entertainment show right here in the 254, man. It has been a great year, Miss V.
It has been a good one.
Yeah, as much as tunataka kuongelea about, some of the biggest events zenye zimekuwa na, the biggest highlight. Wacha pia tuongelee some of the memes. Yeah, Nairobi ni moto si moto.
Ni moto.
Nairobi ni fire si fire.
Ni fire.
Wexem.
That was a good one.
Hey, man.
And then there was Patelo Nadi, Romeo na Juliet, yeah.
Nataka love like that, sindio? Yeah, also gani tena unaweza kumbuka?
Chude Genje.
Chude. And then Top Shot.
Man. It's been a good year. It's been a good year when you talk matters entertainment. I mean, musically speaking, event-wise, it has been a really, really good year. I mean, we've had international acts coming to the country, plus so much more. So today's show is going to be a really, really good one because we are doing a roundup of the year 2025.
I'm ready. I'm very ready, Miss V.
I'm also very, very ready. As you can see, I have my lights on, festive season, final show of the year.
It's about to go down.
It's about to go down. Let's do this. My name is Vivian Dego. You can simply just call me Miss V.
Jack Muller, the party daddy. You can call me Papi.
And you know what this right here is?
Grapevine.
Now, here's how we're going to start it off with the international acts. All the international acts that got to come for an event right here in the 254. And we are starting off on a really high note. Burna Boy.
Burna Boy alikuja na his own sound system.
His entire sound system with his sound people. Hakukuwa anataka mtu yoyote aguze mambo ya sound if it was not his people. And let me tell you, if you attended that event, you could tell that the sound was different.
That's what's
because it was so crisp. The sound was so good. Nikasema, okay. Pia sisi itabidi tumeenda shule kidogo.
Also, time was well kept.
Yeah.
Niliona, Burna Boy actually aliingia at around 9, right?
Yeah, aliingia stage time yenye tu ilikuwa imeandikwa. Like everyone was getting on stage the exact time they were meant to be on stage. Unajua vile tumezoea Kenyan timing, watu wanasemaga events huwa zinachelewa. Watu walimiss performances mingi.
Niliona man, yeah.
Bien joined Burna Boy.